Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're going to do a review and a tutorial and swatches of BH Cosmetics' new Avocado Toast palette. Now, the last video that I put out was from the Mimosa palette. Like I said, you guys, I like to do palettes separately to give them each their own time to shine. A lot of these other YouTubers, they dedicate one single video to everything in that collection, and they only swatch here and there. I swatch every single shadow in this palette and in every single palette that I review on. So in order to keep the videos as short as possible, I tend to separate them that way. That way you can get all the swatches from the Mimosa palette, all the swatches from the Avocado palette, and that's just how I am. I like to do it that way. I like to give each palette their own time to shine. Given that, you guys, I'm going to start putting like a little disclaimer. My videos are in-depth, long. They're not short. The shortest one that I have is about a 33-minute video. So I do all the swatches in the beginning. My tutorials are towards the end. And in between that, we do lip swatches. We do hand swatches right here. Yeah, so we just swatch and we try everything out. And I tell you guys my thoughts on everything. I never want you guys to feel like I'm pressuring you guys to buy these products. I just honestly like to do these videos. And then if I could help someone to either not buy the palette or yes, buy the palette, at the end, it's your money. Spend it the way you want to. Ain't nobody here going to tell you what to buy. I don't like to push myself onto people like that. That's just not who I am, especially not in real life. I always tell people, because people get on me, well, you're spending money on that. Well, I'm not spending your money, am I though? Am I spending your money? It's my money. I'll spend it if I want a palette. I'm going to get that palette. You don't have to like it because it's not your money. I don't know. So, I have no lipstick because I've been waiting to swatch the Chai Latte ones. I think I'm going to start with Chai Latte. Remember yesterday, well, not yesterday, the last video that I put out, I swatched the Bloody Mary Lip Gloss Duo. So today we're going to swatch the So Extra Chai Latte. This comes with both a high shine lip gloss. They're both high shine plumping lip gloss duos. I feel like they don't really plump lips. That's just my opinion. That's the reason why I got them, because I don't like lip plumping lip glosses. I feel like the tingling just throws me off. I don't like it. This one doesn't do that. That's why I like buying BH Cosmetics ones. This one's like I want to say it's an orange base nude with a ton of shimmer in it. And this one is like a mauve purple. It's definitely not a brown. I thought they were going to be more brown based, but when I got it, I was actually kind of on the fence of buying the Chai Latte one, because I was like, I don't know, it's brown, it's not going to show up. But when I got it in person, I was actually happy, because I was like, wow, this one's not a brown. You guys, the bad experience is that when this is a light brown, and you guys see what color my lips naturally are, they're already naturally brown that way. I didn't put anything on right now. That's just how they are. So when I add a brown to my brown lips, you can't see any pigment. It just looks like a regular lip gloss on top of my lips, which kind of defeats the purpose of wearing something. That's how I think. So I'm going to start with Extra Foam. This is what this is called. This one's super pretty though. Smells like cotton candy to me, just like the other ones. Now, you're not going to see color, you guys. Like I said, these don't show up on my lips, but I like this one because I can see all the little it has multi-glitter shimmer all throughout the whole lip gloss, so I can see that. I can see all that glitter. You can't feel this one. It is not sticky. It is very smooth. I've actually tried this formula and wore it for a couple hours. They don't really dry down to sticky, which is really good, because I've experienced that after an hour or two they dry up and they start turning all tacky and sticky and ugly. This one, actually, I've never had that experience with these type of ones from the BH Cosmetics. The only thing I will say is that when you're applying it, just be careful not to overdo it. You probably will have to like take some of it off, because if not, it becomes super like gooey in the middle. like you added too much, right? So you just pat it down a little bit. I just tend to just rub a little bit off with my finger and just call it a day, and it stays and it works. Let me take this one off and we'll swatch the next one. Okay, you guys, the next one we're going to do, this one is called Caffeinated. And like I said, I thought it was going to be a brown. It's actually like a mauve. Let me do a hand swatch for you guys. It's like a mauve pink. It is not quite a brown. I didn't do hand swatches or arm swatches, if you want to call them that, on yesterday's Bloody Mary one. It totally slipped my mind, honestly. I didn't do it, and I was like, dang, why didn't I do that? It smells the same. They have like this very light, fruity, sweet smell to them. I like that this one has that pigment, and you can see it a tiny bit on my lips. It just has that sheen of rose, like mauve, purple, pink, right? You can see it a little tiny bit. I like it. I honestly think I wouldn't wear this by itself. I would wear it with a lip liner, which is what I plan to do. If you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see this look later, and I'm going to have some lip liner. I'm not going to leave it like this. And of course, I didn't add any eyeliner on my eyelid, but I probably will add it for the Instagram photo later, because that's just my personal preference. Like I mentioned later on in the video, I have to have eyeliner, you guys. That's just me, though. So I did show you guys the full look, like close up without no eyeliner, because let me know if you guys like that or not. I really don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. I could totally do the whole look with no eyeliner and then add the eyeliner later on. I just think that it really helps give you guys the overall intensity of the look, like in its entirety, than not have the eyeliner like blocking it and making it look different, you know? But yeah, let me add some blush because I have no blush on and it's killing me. So I'm going to dip into the Bellini palette, which is from the BH Cosmetic 2. If you guys want to see, if this is your first video that you're watching of me and you guys want to see swatches of this one, I will link my last video from the Mimosa palette. That one has full swatches for the Bellini palette, so you guys could see what they look like. I won't be doing full swatches again. So I'm going to use this. This is from their collection, from the brushes that they have. This is the number 3, and I'm going to dip into... Let me try Peachy Keen right here. Last time in my last video, I used Pitch Please, which is the darkest one in this entire palette. And I'm like, ooh. Oh God, you guys, that is pigmented. A lot of these colors remind me of their Glowing in Grease one. But can you guys see it? I can see it. That is very, very dark. Just try to blend it out as much as possible. Because if not, you're going to be looking weird. Especially if you're fair toned. That's what I said in my last video. This one is perfect for darker tones. Because I feel like on us it picks up easier. And for lighter skin tone, someone has to like really tap it off. Because it'll be too much. It'll overwhelm your skin tone. That's why I said these ones are really good for darker. Because for us, we just have to really build it up to get that intensity we want. But we don't have to worry about looking like too weird. Sometimes if you put too much blush, it'll just like... And you look... I don't even want to say how they look. Okay, you guys, let me get started on the swatches before people start cussing me out. Here's the avocado one. I'm going to start with that one, and then I'm going to go across until I get to the bottom. Avocado is my inner corner highlight. I use that right here and on the outer corner. It is super pretty. It is like a blinding shimmer, like a champagne shimmer. Very pretty, you guys. I do plan on adding timestamps like I did yesterday. I mean, why do I keep saying yesterday? Timestamps from the last video that I did to tell you guys when I started doing swatches for the Chai Latte, when I started doing swatches for the palette, stuff like that. So just so nobody gets, you know, all like... I know people just like to go straight to the swatches. So this is Pink Salt right here. This one is super pretty. It is very light. On someone fair skin tone, I think it would totally work for you. This one right here. On someone like me, maybe a little bit darker, it might work building up. Let me see. I think it could still work. but it need a lot of building up. Like, even on me, it barely works. You see, look, you can barely... Probably not on someone darker then, because for me, I can barely get that intensity, and it looks kind of like a little bit of ashy right there. So, I don't know. I might use it as a transition shade and try to make it work, but I probably would not recommend for anyone darker. It might not work for us. But that is like one color, seriously. One color out of this entire palette. Maybe not even Over Easy would work for... I don't even think Over Easy would work for me, in my personal opinion. So, probably wouldn't work for someone darker. But every single else color in here is so pretty. So, we got, next to that, we have Expensive. Expensive is like this rose tone. I want to say it's like a rose tone bronze. Because it's got that red, like pink in there, see? It's got a pink, burgundy, brown thing going on there. It's super pretty, though. I think with this one right here, I was saying earlier that these three, well, later on in my tutorial, these three would make such an awesome, like, nude look if you wanted to do that. They go good together. Next to that, we have Spicy, and Spicy is this, oh my god. Spicy is so hard to describe. I want to say it's a dark khaki color. And then it has these random specks of gold in there. So you can't even tell. It looks like a dark brown, honestly, but it's very like a dark army khaki color. And it has these light specks of gold. This one is very metallic-y, and this one's more like a shimmer type of formula. But that color right there, like if you wanted to go neutral, you could use that color right there. And then you could use, you know, maybe Pit, Holy Moly, like if you wanted to keep it more on the darkened, smoky eye, neutral kind of way. I like it. It's super cute. In the next row, we have Lemon Pepper. Lemon Pepper is another one that I so much like fell in love with when I first saw it. Because apart from this one right here, Lemon Pepper would make an awesome inner corner highlight. And overall right there, like what I did with this one right here, which is Has. Lemon Pepper on its own. It looks like a duochrome now that I'm swatching it. It has this yellow with like a brown undertone. Really weird way to describe it, but it actually is such a beautiful shimmer. I honestly love it. I think as an inner corner highlight overall, right here, such a beautiful color by itself. And then we have Avocado Toast. Next to that, Avocado Toast is a matte. It is a super neon green. It's like the perfect color for avocado, right? Oh my god, look at that. Ooh, guys, that picked up so quickly. Look at that. Just look at that intensity. That reminds me of a green I have in my Take Me Back to Brazil. But I love that they added that color. That is such a beautiful color. It is so intense. It stands out. It's super pigmented. That was one swatch. You're telling me that can't work for you? That would work for anyone. That one right there. Little bit of fallout from that avocado, the Avo Toast. That's what it's called. I keep trying to say Avocado Toast. Next to that, we have Ripe. And Ripe is like, if Avocado Toast is more of a lime green, Ripe is definitely just like a darker grass green, but like on the lighter end. It's not really that dark, but it is this green right here. Very pretty still. And just look at that together. Look at those. I love these different shades of green in here. They gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different variations of green. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 what I would consider like pinks. And then you have a dark, I would say 2 dark browns, right? Because I want to include Spicy in that sort of dark brown. And Holy Moly, which is a black. And then you have that random Over Easy, which is a yellow. Next to that, we have Has. And Has is that overall green that you see right here. And it is this, I want to call it a sherbet, but it's more like a gold tone green. Super pretty. I love that color. That was one of the colors that stood out to me so much when I got it. And I was like, I'm rubbing that one all over my eye. And that's what I did. I rubbed it all over this eye. In the next row, the first one is that Over Easy yellow right there. And I don't have high hopes for this one, honestly. I haven't used it. It looks very light, super opaque for my skin. I want to swatch it again just to see if we can build that intensity. And you can. Now that I'm looking at it, you can. I don't feel like that one would work for me, much less for someone darker. But if at the entire palette, the only colors that I honestly think, in my opinion, would not work for someone darker than me would be that pink salt color and then that yellow one that I just swatched, which is called Over Easy. 2 colors out of 16 shadow palette. That's not that bad, because everything else in here would totally work for someone darker. Next to that, we have this Superfood color. I love this color. It looks like a dark army green, like that, you know, deep green that they have in the suits that they wear, the outfits. Look at that. Isn't that such a beautiful green? I mean, if you love greens, this palette is for you. I'm telling you. This palette has such beautiful green colors in there. My friend was like telling me that she doesn't like greens, and I was like, dude, I love greens. Every single time I would go to the store and I saw green, and if it was like the right type of green that screamed to me, I wanted to buy it, because that's how much I love greens. Next to that, we have Paprika, which is my transition shade I used today. Paprika is like this dark terracotta orange with like this, I almost want to say it's like a deep salmon pink color for some reason, because that's how weird it looks. But it's like it definitely has that pink, red, maroon color tone to it, almost with a brown too. It's a very hard color to describe, but it's a very beautiful color. I honestly love that when I used it. I had to build it up a little bit. It didn't show, like it did show up, but I had to build it up to get that intensity that I wanted to stand out from the other colors that I was already going to rub on my eye. And the only thing that I'm really noticing between all these matte colors in here is that you do get a little bit of fallout. I'm getting fallout from just, you know, rubbing my finger on there. So it is not a lot though. I didn't get anything on my face. I didn't experience any problems on my face. I'm just telling you guys so you guys know that there will be minimal fallout when you're using your brushes on the pan. You will see some fallout, which not necessarily is a deal breaker for me. I've never had any problems with stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. But just in case if you are that type of person that looks at stuff like that, then you're warned. Next to that, we have this pit color right here. It is like a dark, I want to say it's like a dark chocolate for some reason to me. I did use this one today. I used it right here in this corner just to create like a smoky intensity in that corner. I love that color. It is super pretty too. Look at it. Now that I'm looking at it as swatched, it doesn't really look like straight up dark, like dark chocolate in the pan. It has a maroon underlying, you know, tone to it. So you can see it. Don't these two colors look so beautiful together? Like as a look by itself, that would look so beautiful. Okay, we're on the last row. We have Green Juice, which is such a beautiful color because I just swatched it. I knew it was going to be a pretty color. I didn't expect this. So this is the one that we're swatching right now. I want to say it's like this aquamarine shimmer. Isn't that beautiful? Just like, it's a blinding metallic color right there. Oh my God. Tell me that's not beautiful right there. It's like an aquamarine metallic shimmer almost. God, if I would have known that I was going to swatch like that, I would have used that today. That is such a beautiful color. I think it goes well with this random green blue that I have here. I'm not sure. Next to that, we have Guac. And Guac is this like teal green blue. I rubbed that all over here, and I did put some of it right here. But this color is so pigmented. It does need building up. So this is one swatch right here. And then you add a second swatch and you just get that stronger intensity. The more you add on there, the more intense the color will be. So it's not necessarily a bad color. I really like that color. It didn't take a whole lot. I just kept re-adding and re-adding until I got the color that I wanted. So it's not a deal breaker for me, like I said. Next to that, we have Extra. And Extra is the green that I'm wearing right here. Such a beautiful color. It is like a metallic forest green, and it has that hint of teal to it. So it's not full-on green, and it's not full-on blue. Tell me those three wouldn't make a good look right there. Those three alone. Just those three. It's such a beautiful look, right? That would make it a very pretty look together. And then the last color in here is the black that we have, and it's called Holy Moly, and it is like this dark, just a dark black. That's all it is. Look how intense that one is. It does look like it would be a little bit chalky, but I don't think it'd be hard to blend it out. I don't think you'd have a problem. Just doing this right here is giving me a good blending. So I don't think that'd be a problem. It looks like it would swatch that way, but it's not. You'll be fine. So if all you came for is the swatches, this is where I leave you, because that is the end of the swatches that I have for that avocado palette. Overall, I want to say that this is a very beautiful palette. If you love greens and you want something to basically have a part of your collection, and you have a little bit of everything in here. I just like that they added those pinks in there. They added those browns. And you don't have to go full green. Like, it's not a bright all green palette. It has those neutrals in there. So you can do a really like intense look. You can go semi, you know, neutral. You can add a little bit of color, or you can add a whole lot. I love that they added that. I don't feel like my look is like full on. I feel like it's somewhere in between, you know. It's like, it's there. But it's not like, oh my God, what you got on your face? So that's pretty much it for the swatches, you guys. I'm going to start reviewing the brushes for you guys. Well, showing you guys, not really reviewing, but okay, you guys, the brushes came like this in this box. My box came a little damaged on shipping when it got here. But honestly, I want to say something. I have a couple of sets of BH Cosmetic brushes. This is by far my favorite one so far, because I feel like this one is so expensive looking, and it's heavy, and it's well made, that compared to all my other BH Cosmetics ones, this one takes the cake. This one is like the best thus far that I bought. So I honestly think it reminds me a lot of Sigma's brushes for some reason, because I was like, wow, this feels heavy. It feels like my Sigma brush. I go, it feels expensive. This is the number 2 one. So they have this one listed as the round. Number 1 is a round powdered brush, and I love that they have them little thingies cover them. So they come in this plastic bag, and in the plastic bag they're all individually wrapped. I believe these are vegan. Okay, so it doesn't say, but I will get back. I'll probably put right here in the corner if it's vegan or not. They have this like metallic rose gold handle to it. The rest of the handle is this peach, deep in peach color. It says BH Cosmetics, well, BH with the little logo that they have. Weekend Vibes number 1. The bristles are so incredibly soft. I love, love, love these brushes. They feel so heavy, so expensive. And I honestly don't even want to use this one, because that's how pretty it is. I think I only used one today. Honestly, my intention was to use them just to give them more in-depth, and I ended up forgetting. So the only one that I used was the highlighting brush, which is the number 8. I was like, okay, whatever. You guys, I tried, okay? Number 2, which is an angle brush. This is an angled buffer brush. I think you can use these for foundation. I'm not sure. I would either use this. Honestly, I've seen people use this as a contouring one, but I don't use contouring, so I'd probably use it for a foundation brush. I'll probably look up online what each of these brushes are. They go in more in depth in line, like they tell you. But again, this is heavy. They look expensive, so they're very beautiful. And then we have this. Oh wait, I forgot, you guys. I did use the blush brush. I used this one as a blush brush. That's the one that I used earlier to put my blush that you guys saw me putting on there. Same thing, super pretty. I love that one. And then you have number 4 is a mini buffer brush. I've seen people do this with the contouring, where they use this and they use it right there. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, so I'm just letting you guys know that's what that is. And then you have number 5. So this is 5. This one's a large shader brush. Super soft as well. Then you have number 6. Number 6 is a small shader brush. Same thing as the first one. These are really good for the eyes. The main reason why I bought this set is because I had a lot of eye brushes, and I try to have as much eye brushes as I can, because I swatch them out, I wash them, and I continually use them. So I have I literally have a bag of brushes. with different kinds. I have some from BH Cosmetics. I have some from Morphe. All kinds, you guys. It's crazy. Mostly BH Cosmetics and Morphe, though. Those are the two main brands that I use. Then you have this angled shader brush. I love these as right here to the bottom ones. Those are my favorite way to use these ones right here. And then number 8, this is the tapered shader brush. This is the one that I used for my highlight right here. And I did use the Horse and Carriage highlighter from the Cinderella bundle. The one that they did for the Midnight Masquerade. That's the highlighter that I used. Even though I don't think you can tell. But I did use that one. 9 is a small tapered blending brush. I love these small ones for blending in general. These are like my go-to favorite ones. And this one as well. This is the number 10 round crease brush. I love using these ones as well. These ones are great. The number 11s are really great as an inner corner highlight, even though it says it's a liner brush. So people would normally use it like an eyeliner. I like using these as an inner corner highlight. But like I mentioned in my other videos, I don't use these because I feel like my finger does more of an intense job. I like that intensity in my inner corner highlight. Some people will be like this. And then it's just, you can barely see it, but that works for them or whatever. I guess, whatever. What do I know? So that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys have made it this far, I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. I know that according to my analytics, most people, I lose them after the swatches. They don't even stay this long. They literally don't make it to the end of the video. So if you actually do make it to the video, I want to say how grateful I am to you guys for taking the time out of your day to basically just watch me do makeup, because that's what this is. So other than that, you guys, if you guys want to see how I created this look today, just stay tuned. Okay, you guys, for my first color, I'm going to go in with this color called Paprika right here. And I like it. It is like this, I want to say it's like this deepened brown red, almost like a maroon red, but like a very light version of a maroon. I would honestly call it almost close to like a deepened dark salmon color, because even though pink salt up here looks like a salmon, this one just looks like a darker version of that pink salt. And it's so pretty. This color is seriously pretty. I mean, I think it's actually a really good name for it. Paprika, like that. The way they named it. I don't know. I love this color. It is seriously pretty. I thought it made a perfect transition shade. Especially for someone of my skin tone. I think this would totally work for somebody a little bit darker than me too. I don't know. It makes a perfect transition shade for me. So I know it would work for someone darker than me. Maybe not that lighter shade pink salt though, because that one looks like it might be a little bit too opaque for... Okay, you guys, for my next color, I went in with this color in here that's called Haas. It is a very, I want to say it's like a sherbet green, but it's more like a deepened sage color, if that makes sense. It's like very creamy. I love that it has that like metallic sheen to it when I put it on right here. It's stands out so much, and I just loved it. I was like, if I had to really honestly pick between this and the Mimosa palette, I would have definitely went this route as a personal preference of mine, even though I'm really in love with pinks. But there's just something about this palette that has a little bit of everything all mixed in one. It's not strictly just greens. It does have greens, but the difference between that palette and this palette is that palette has 9 variations of pink. This one literally has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 greens only. And they are like way different from each other. They're not like slight differences versus the Mimosa palette. So I just used my finger for this one. The next color that I use is this one in here that's called Guac. Guac is a very hard color to describe to me because it's not a straight out green. It is more of like a green with a teal switch to it. It has that prominent blue in there. It makes it almost look like that color that people put blue into their ponds, their homemade ponds, and it turns into that murky teal color. And that's what this reminds me of for some reason. So I use this 2 ways. I did use this as a base to my little different color that you see here. So I put this on first right here, just in this corner. I did add it to like that entire little corner right there, because I go over with something else afterwards. But I started off doing this, and then I kind of like didn't really like it because I just thought that over the shimmer, it didn't look as good as I wanted it to look. And I was like thinking in my head that it's going to be extremely hard to blend it out later on. That's why I went over that same green. I went over it with another green in here that's actually a shimmer. And those two blended so well together that I just left it like that. But I did pat this on over that shimmer. It doesn't really work to blend it out because one's a shimmer and one is a matte. It's really hard to get them to like seamlessly blend into each other. That's why I ended up going over with that other shimmer, because it was just easier to make it look flawless instead of like looking so different from each other. I don't know if that makes sense to someone. So over that same green that I just added, I added this color right here. This is a shimmer and it's called Extra. I really love this color. It's like a dark forest green, but it has that shimmer metallic to it. I don't know. I liked it. Once I put it on, I was like, this one is a nice one. I'm in love with these greens in this palette though. So I just went over it, over that original green that was there, and it just intensified the green that was already there. I also had like minimal fallout when it came to all the colors that I used. My transition shade, the paprika color, had very little fallout in the pan. I didn't experience any fallout like on my face. Okay, you guys, and then for my bottom right here, I used that same guac color that I went originally there. That same guac color, I took it and I basically just did my entire bottom eyelid, and it fit better there. My next color that I used this dark brown in here that's called Pit. I love these names. For some reason, it just... Pit. Come on, Avocado Pit. I don't know. It's a dark... I want to say it's a dark chocolate brown. And then you have Holy Moly, who's a black. I don't know what I think about Holy Moly, because I do use blacks, but I don't use them as much as I would like to, because blacks, you could either mess it up really bad or just whatever, right? I tapped it into this corner right here, and then I sort of like blended it into that green. So you see over here, it's there, but it's not like taking over the entire look. And that's what I tried to do. I just kept it in that corner, and I did put some of it right here, not all the way in the morning, just right here in that little corner, just to give it that dark espresso green look sort of. And I did have some type of fallout in the pan from this dark brown Pit color, but it's not like a huge deal breaker, so it's not a lot. And I did kind of go across a little bit, not a lot, because I go back with my transition shade again to blend some of that out so it's not so dark. And then I did go back in with that extra color, that dark right here, just to like reincorporate. And I did go back in with that Hass color as well, just to blend it into that green so it doesn't stand so prominently by itself. I kind of try to blend as much. Your eye looks are going to be 90% blending and the rest is adding. So you just got to have the patience to go back and forth. Some palettes take a little bit more time than others. Some of them you just like boom, 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 I'm done. Other times you have to like, especially it depends on what you're doing with your eye look. If it's just 1, 2, 3 colors, you're fine. You're like boom, 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 I'm done. But when it comes to looks like this, where you're adding 3 colors basically onto the same lid, then you're going to have a lot of blending back and forth till you get it to where you want it. Blending has a lot to do with like how you do your eyebrows, right? It's until you feel, okay, that's good enough. It's passable. I mean, don't mind. There's always going to be someone that's going to say, oh, you didn't blend it right. Oh, you didn't do it right. You know what? It's on my face. Don't worry about what's on my face, okay? If I look like a clown, then I look like a clown. I'm going to go back in with that paprika color, my transition shade. I'm going to add some of that hash color again. Like I said, I was going to add some more and I just try to blend it out as much as with my finger with that green that's already there. I don't want to take over it, but I do want to like sort of blend them into each other without, you know, it taking over. And that's pretty much it for the look, you guys. I will be using this for my waterline. This is just my BH Cosmetic Power Pencil in the color teal. So let me do that and I'll be right back. So this is the finished eye look today, you guys. I decided not to put any lip eyeliner again so you guys could see like the full-fledged look of everything. And I really love this palette, you guys. It is super pretty. And I also forgot to mention that I used an inner corner highlight and an outer corner highlight, which is the same color. So when I back you guys out, I will show you guys what color I used for that. I'm so sorry. Just brain farts, you guys. Mama brain farts. I couldn't remember. So let me back you guys out and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, you guys, I'm back and I totally forgot. Like, when I said I was going to go do my mascara, I totally forgot to mention to you guys that I actually did do an inner corner highlight. As you guys can clearly see off of this eye, I did have one. So the color that I used right here is this one in the corner. It's called Avocado. This is such a blinding highlight, you guys. Like, you guys can see on my eyelid, right? Like, that's how it came out. And I also used it on the corner of each eye too. I had no problems. I had a little bit of fallout with the color Pit right here, the dark brown that I used right here, and a little bit of fallout with Paprika, which is my transition shade, in the pan, not on my face. So no problems there. I had no problems with blending. You know, some palettes, Paprika took a little bit of building up, and it wasn't that it didn't show up. It's just you needed to build it up to get that intensity that I was looking for. The darker your complexion is, the more intensity you have to have in that background so it'll stand out on its own. It's just when you're lighter, you don't really have to try as much. It stands out on its own, right? Because the pigment picks up so easily on lighter skin. But when you're darker, you just really need a good base. And then a lot of times the base doesn't help because the color is that light. So you have to build it up and build it up. So when people look at you, they can see the amount of colors you used on yourself. Not just the darkest one that stands out the most. So that's it for today, you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.